Shalom, shalom. Gotta come on in. We'll get started in a little bit, y'all. Shalom, shalom. Y'all come on in. We'll get started for the Brotherhood class. All right. We is starting a little bit early because I'm currently right now in the library. You know what I'm saying? We're holding classes in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? You can get a direct class. You can come into the library. We're right here in Hart Memorial Library in Kissimmee, Florida. You know what I'm saying? That's 211 East Dakin Avenue. You can come in every Tuesday from 6:30 to 8:30. I will be in here. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get the direct class, you know what I'm saying? But we are teaching classes in the library. This is why we starting a little bit earlier, right, y'all? So y'all come on in and we'll get started in a little bit, all right? Shalom, Moses. I mean, Salakia. Shalom, Truba Mashah. You might want to change that username. You know what I'm saying? Change the account name to the Hebrew name. But Shalom, warrior. Salakia, that's my fault. All right, shalom, sis. Shalom, y'all. Shema Latah Bashem, y'all Shah. Y'all come on in. We'll get started in a little bit, y'all. All right, shalom, Israel. It's the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Precinct Officer Thawad Shab. So the Isupk started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. All right, so as of right now, we're going to get into a few scriptures on the topic. If you have any questions, feel free to type it in, and I'll answer them for you. You know what I'm saying? But we'll jump right into the topic. All right, the topic for today is going to be, who is your brother? right? As a nation, who as a people, who can we consider our brothers? Who can we consider out of all the nations on this earth? Who can we consider as family? You know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have to understand that we are one nation and we are brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? The Lord created us as one nation, right? We descend from the 12 tribes of Israel, right? That's who we descend from. You know what I'm saying? By blood and by nationality. And we're taught in these Christian church and these religious institutions that everybody or anybody can be considered your brother. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's of any race is one family. You know what I'm saying? That everybody comes together in a rainbow. But according to God, the Lord only chose so-called blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people of America. You know what I'm saying? That's all he chose, right? We are the chosen people of God, and he did not choose anybody else on this earth, right? We are a special people above everybody on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to touch on that, proven in the Bible that we're not African. You know what I'm saying? That so-called blacks are not Africans, Haitians, or West Indies. You know what I'm saying? That, the Hispanics are not so-called Puerto Rican. They're not, uh, so-called Brazilian or all whatever identities that our oppressors gave or pushed upon them. You know what I'm saying? This is not their true identity. Their true nationality is found in the Bible. Shalom, Akim. I got some soldiers that's walking the building with me. You know what I'm saying? Got Officer Rai, Trooper Kanat. But go ahead and sit on down, get comfortable.
Sure. You want to able to wipe nothing down with you?
Oh, nah, I ain't what. See, that's why we gotta have you here. You know what I'm saying? That's why I need you here, boy. My niggas stay ready. You know what I'm saying? Both sides crack. Shalom, listen to the chat real quick. Yeah, that was me. My bad.
Oh, that was yours?
Yeah.
I slid it down. I didn't know it was yours.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Nah, it's good. Glad y'all brothers can make it. We live right now, so we're gonna jump into our topic. You know what I'm saying? Y'all came right on time as well. I was just about to jump into the scriptures as well. You know what I'm saying? So every Tuesday is Brotherhood class. If you're in the Central Florida area, if you're in Orlando, Kissimmee, Apaka, wherever you at, you'll come check us out. We in the library, Hart Memorial Library in Kissimmee, Florida. What's going on, priest? You know what I'm saying? Kissimmee, Florida. This is where we at from 6:30 to 8:30, all right? And Brotherhood is the foundation that we stand on in the ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? ISUPK is built on brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? The whole spirit behind the law is brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Without brotherhood, we are nothing. And this is the most important thing that our king came to taught us as a nation. So it's very important who we extend that brotherhood to, who we give our love to. You know what I'm saying? Who we want to join ourselves with. We cannot be joining ourselves with everybody on this earth, with every nation on this earth. The Lord did not design that for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right? When we integrated, we became even further destroyed as a nation. When we joined their religions, when we believe in their philosophies and their way of life, you know what I'm saying, it caused us to be destroyed and remain in captivity. Right? The only way we're going to get out of this captivity if we form a nation of our own that's independent from any other lifestyle on this earth. You know what I'm saying? From any other lifestyle that's on this earth, right? From any other lifestyle from these other nations, for of course, including our oppressor, you know what I'm saying, the so-called white man. We have to build our nation up, right? So we can rule on this earth and get out of this hellhole that we in. But the only way we're going to be able to do so if we get our brothers and sisters back. If we join ourselves to the so-called Puerto Ricans, to the so-called Hispanics, if we join ourselves to the so-called Mexicans, you know what I'm saying, and the people of Central and South America, if we join ourselves to the people in the West Indies Islands, right, and join ourselves with the so-called indigenous people of America, we'll be able to have a full functioning nation under the laws of the Most High, and we'll be delivered from this captivity. You know what I'm saying? And the only way we do so if we use this brotherhood. That's the greatest weapon that we have that can defeat this oppression. All right. So we go.
Another way to touch on.
All right. Let's flip. So the first scripture I'm gonna grab. Let me grab Mark 12 and 29. So this is the Brotherhood class. All right.
Mark 12, 29.
Yeah, Mark 12 and 29.
Oh, it's fine.
Go ahead and read.
The book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 29. And Yahushua answered him, the first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel.
If you could, start me at 28, Baba Kashad, so we can get some context what we're talking about.
You want me to say Jesus for the readers?
Yeah, Baba Kashad, that's good.
The book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 28. And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them all, Salakia, had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all?
Right, so they having a discussion, and Christ is breaking down the scriptures, right? And the religious leaders of that time is trying to get, breakdowns from Yahushua, from who the world calls Jesus Christ, right? And he's answering all their questions according to these scriptures, according to the ways of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That he learned out of this book, the so-called, what they call the Bible, right? He was studying out of the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? At that time, there was no New Testament. You know what I'm saying? But Christ understood the Old Testament. He understood the law, and he understood the spirit behind it, right? So these religious leaders who was supposed to be teaching the people how to serve the Most High, you know what I'm saying, is asking them, what is the first law that we should, hold on to? What is the most important law that we should hold on to? You know what I'm saying? And Christ is going to break it down, what the spirit behind the whole law. Shalom, Yahbashim Shokatah. What's going on, Salapiyat? You know what I'm saying? We waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? We in the building. Waiting on you to come through, soldier. All right. Read on.
Khan. Mark 12 and 29. Salakia. And Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Read that again one more time.
Top.
Baba Kashab.
Khan. And Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel.
Oh, who?
O Israel.
Oh, who?
O Israel.
This is only talking about one nation of people. And this is in the New Testament. Right? What is Christ referring to? Where is Christ getting this scripture from? Go ahead.
Like you said, he's getting it from the OT, the Old Testament.
Old Testament. This is exactly right out of the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? There is no difference from the Old Testament and the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? There is very consistent from the front of the book to the back of the book. It's only talking about the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, and nobody else. These laws and these records that's written of in this book only deals with us as a people. You know what I'm saying? And Christ is letting you know that we got to make sure to keep the laws of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And that we only serve one God and nobody else. Right? Read on.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Where's fine is Deuteronomy 6 and 4.
Kai, if you want to pull that Baba Kashab.
Khan. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Right. That's exactly what Christ just quoted in the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? He's quoting it in the New Testament because it's written in the law of the Israelites. The laws are not done away with. You know what I'm saying? And it's written of in the Bible. Even Christ said it himself that the laws are not done away with. If the Old Testament was done away with, why would Christ be quoting it then? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Trooper Canuck.
Oh, Salaki, sir, if I may, just to,
If I may, let me know if y'all can hear Trooper Canuck. You know what I'm saying? You got Trooper Canuck with us as well, getting down. So let me know if y'all can hear him. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, soldier.
Yeah, Salaki, sir, if I may, this is what was said when our Northern Kingdom brothers first met those heathens, that landed on
And
the land.
on Lost Tribes and Promised Land. Right. They recited
in Hebrew.
in the Hebrew.
Salaki, if I may.
God, no, that's exactly right. That's the, you know what I'm saying? Like they said it in the Hebrew. Shema Yasha Allah Yahweh. Shema Yasha Allah Yahweh. Allah Hayinawa Yahweh Akkad. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how you say in Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why they did that in Hebrew is because what?
Salaki,
Go ahead.
because they Israelites.
They Israelites. You know what I'm saying? The so-called indigenous people of America are the Israelites. So-called Hispanics are the Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? By blood, not by conversion or not by some religious belief, but by identity and by bloodline, by ancestry. You know what I'm saying? This is who they are. They are the chosen people of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And so-called blacks, you are the Israelites as well, and West Indies. But we don't know our identity. You know what I'm saying? We're walking around with the identity of our oppressor. We don't even know the language that we spoke before we became slaves here in America. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know the traditional attire, the food we ate, the days we celebrated. You know what I'm saying? All these things were stripped from us because we went into captivity, man.
That's
You know what I'm saying? But in these last days, the men of the Isupk, we out here to raise up only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, just like Christ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Christ did not come for anybody, but only the 12 tribes of Israel. All right?
Come on.
Go ahead, Sodi. And anything you want to add too, you can get down.
No sweat.
Go ahead.
Verse 30. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart,
Mm-hmm.
and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment.
Right. Now, the first commandment that he quoted was that you should love the Lord with all thy heart, thy mind, thy soul, and thy strength. What does it mean to love the Lord? What does that mean? Does it mean to just feel warm inside and say, Jesus, I love you, and hug yourself and feel all squishy inside? What does it mean to love the Most High? Go ahead, Trooper Kanat.
Salaki, sir, it means to follow his instructions, to do his commandments.
Damn right. Get a soldier a hand. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and pull that precept. You know where the precept is at?
This is the love of the Lord that you is that in 1 John?
God, 1 John, I think 5 and 3,
Good.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, right.
One of the 5 or 3 or 3 or 4. Okay. Go ahead, get down, soldier.
Khan, sir. The book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God.
Now, this is the love of God. If you love God, this is what you would do to prove it. Read on.
That we keep his commandments.
That you do what?
We keep his commandments.
Now, you say hallelujah all day.
We keep his commandments.
This is what God is requiring you to do if you love him. If you love the Most High, you will keep the commandments. Now, what does the commandments consist of? Right? You have dietary laws, you know what I'm saying? Ceremonial laws. You have moral laws. You have all type of laws that's written of in this Bible. You know what I'm saying? That never been done away with. And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we must keep it in order to be a functioning nation on this earth, man. We can't function without it. You know what I'm saying? And you got wicked leaders, wicked religious leaders that's telling you today that the laws are done away with. Like you can just go to church, pay your tithes, and say hallelujah all day, and that's all you need to do to show that you love God. You know what I'm saying? They have lessened the requirement that's needed in order to show that you love God. They watered down the words that's written of in this book. What the brother just read was not our own words. It's written of in this book, in the New Testament. So you got to keep the commandments. That is the first statute and commandment that our king cited out of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? If you love the Most High, you got to keep his commandments with all your heart, all your mind, and all your strength. Everything you got. You got to apply your mind to keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to serve the Most High if you want to live. If you really want salvation, you have to keep his commandments, right? Any more on that?
Come, sir.
Go ahead.
And his commandments are not grievous.
Are not what?
Are not grievous.
What does it mean that it's not grievous? Get down, so.
Like, sir, that mean that they're not hard.
They are. You know, you don't want you to eat pork bacon, eat beef bacon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Eat turkey bacon.
It's a lock.
You know what I'm saying?
That's better.
Right.
Exactly. That's
these
decent.
boys.
I never had it though, but I did hear it's fine.
I heard too.
Good.
I've been trying to find. They used to sell it at when this is a lot.
Nah, we got that. That's how you know niggas is
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Listen, he don't want you to be sleeping with these other nations. Guess what? You got 12 tribes to choose from. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that's difficult, that's out of this world to do. You can be perfect and righteous in the eyes of the Most High. The problem is you don't want to apply yourself to do so. We became too comfortable and programmed in sinning against the Most High. We find pleasure in doing what we want to do and feeling free and having freedom of choice. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to find pleasure in. You know what I'm saying? When the Bible does not talk about you having freedom of choice or being free to do whatever makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? You are required, if you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian or indigenous person of America, you know what I'm saying? You are required to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? And they are not hard to do. All you got to do is apply yourself, right? You want to say something? Go ahead. So.
Kind. And you know, you got in the Christian establishment.
Yeah. Got Officer Kawan in the building. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You got in the Christian establishment. You got these fake religious leaders that's teaching you to go out and vote for presidential candidates, to vote for, you know, legislative bodies, which are lawmakers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're teaching you to vote for people that are making laws for a nation that's not our own. So the thing is, you understand the concept. We understand the concept of keeping laws. The thing is that we done joined ourselves to a nation that's not ours. You know what I'm saying? So we understand that concept of keeping laws. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, we don't want to keep the Most High's laws because we've been a rebellious people.
Damn
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
Nah, that's heavy. That's heavy. So go ahead, not.
So, like, sir, if I may, would 2 John 1:6 go along with this?
Yeah, get down. Get down.
It's the book of 2 John, chapter 1, verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it.
Yeah, that's a perfect precept. That goes along with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, these brothers learned under Christ. You know what I'm saying? And they were well versed in understanding these scriptures. Like we stated earlier, it's real consistent through and throughout. It never has changed. You know what I'm saying? The Lord never changed his narrative on what he wants his people to do. You know what I'm saying? And like the priest brought out, that's just a heavy statement he said. You know what I'm saying? Like, we understand that concept of keeping some type of laws, right? You know what I'm saying? Every governing nation on this earth has laws that sustain their society. You do what I'm saying? Like, you cannot have a lawless country and think you're gonna thrive on this earth. You get what I'm saying? Well, we need an independent set of laws that cater to our identity. You know what I'm saying? That caters to our culture and who we are as so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people of America. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need a set of laws that we can identify with, that's separate from everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was heavy too. Like, you know, in Saudi Arabia, they got a law where it's illegal if you get caught with wine or something like that. In certain parts of, I think in Saudi Arabia, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get caught with wine, you get some jail time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll outlaw it in certain regions around that area. You know what I'm saying? And that is their country, and that's how they want to run it.
Right.
They think that's right for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And nobody's out there calling them a cult or crazy. And they got the richest country on the earth in the Middle East, in Dubai. You know what I'm saying? They got all the oil. You know what I'm saying? But once we decide that we want to do right for us, it's always looked as something evil. You know what I'm saying? When this is righteous in the eyes of the Most High, this is how you prove that you love him. You know what I'm saying? This is the only way. All your shouting and screaming does not prove anything to God. All your hollering and rolling on the floor, catching the Holy Ghost, that does not prove anything to God. You wasting your time. Tell me that. Am I lying? You wasting your time.
Sprinting up and down the aisle.
God.
It's a lot.
Go ahead.
every time you say that, I just get a picture of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Boy, so like, if I may, I don't know where this was, but now they starting to choke their congregation to get the demons out of them. I seen it on Facebook.
With like a headlock or something?
Like neck, like hands around the neck, choke.
Yeah.
Like it's like this Negro was choking this lady.
Listen.
And then it did a lot of wild stuff.
Man.
To get the demon out.
Listen, man.
Wow,
the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks. I don't know if I can say that anymore, but listen, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we should not learn spirituality from him. We should not learn the Bible from him. You know what I'm saying? He is somebody that's without morals. This is how he built up his country. He didn't do it by spreading love and positivity like they love to claim Christianity is about. You know what I'm saying? They got this nation through bloodshed and murder and slavery. You know what I'm saying? And we are not supposed to be like that. You know, so you want to say something, Officer Rob?
Salaki, sir. La.
Okay, my bad. All right. So jump me back to the Mark 12, Baba Kasha. And anything you want to add to, Officer Kawan, you can get down.
Kanamakan.
Go ahead.
The book of Mark, chapter 12 and verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
And the second is like.
Is what?
Is like.
Is what?
Is like.
What does it mean when it says the second is like? Go ahead.
As the same.
It's the same thing. Meaning the first statute or commandment, it's the same as the second one that he's about to say. You know what I'm saying? There is no difference in between the two. You know what I'm saying? This is why brotherhood is very, very important. This is why keeping the commandments of the Most High is very, very important. Listen, if you claim to be a follower of Christ, you would adhere to what Christ is about to say right now. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Yes, you should do what?
Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Now, this is going into the topic of today. Now, who is your neighbor? Is your neighbor the so-called peeping Tom, that white man that lived next door to you? The creep that lived next door? Is it the Chinese man that's in your neighborhood that's selling you all the fried rat and cat? You know what I'm saying? It is the African brother that's selling you all the fake Louis Vuitton and credit card schemes. You know what I'm saying? Who is your neighbor, man? You know what I'm saying? And this is what we need to find out as so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? We lost our identity. We lost our culture, and we lost our love for each other. You know what I'm saying? And we lost finding out who our brothers really are. Go ahead, Officer Rock.
Come. Salaki, sir. And I just wanted to bring this out concerning who is our neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
When these laws, statutes, and commandments were given to the children of Israel after we came out of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we had them before then, but you know what I'm saying, written and given to the children of Israel after being delivered out of the Egyptian captivity.
Right.
These statutes, and commandments were given. It's like, look, I'm gonna bring you into your own land.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One of the laws was we were not to have any other nation amongst us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So these laws were specifically for us. And if we were not to have any other nation amongst us
Mm-hmm.
in our city, in Jerusalem, you know what I'm saying? Then who would our neighbor be?
God.
The neighbor is other Israelites.
Right.
It wouldn't have been no other nations around us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
God.
Not within our borders.
God.
Because it was a law not to have other nations within our borders.
Right. Nah, damn right, man. You know what I'm saying? The Bible don't contradict itself. You know what I'm saying? God is not going to say one thing and expect you to do the other. You know what I'm saying? He don't flip-flop like your pastor do. You know what I'm saying? He don't move based off of emotion. What he says goes. And that's the way with the Most High, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand who our brothers are, man. Whether you want to accept it or not, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? We are to return and build this nation back up. You know what I'm saying? So let me get Jeremiah. Let me get Exodus 11 and 7. Let me get that first, since you mentioned coming out of Egypt.
Content.
Real quick.
I got you. one tonight.
I was like, he got there pretty quick, huh? He made sure. Well, I'm squabbling around. Yeah, God, get down, Hebrew.
I again got it.
God.
The book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast.
Right, what is this talking about, right? This is the children of Israel, not everybody else. This is from the point where we was freed from our oppressors, man. You know what I'm saying? This is where we trying to get rid of the culture and the identity of the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? The Lord delivered us from our oppressor and gave us a country and a nation of our own. You know what I'm saying? And during that time, that point period, we was in the wilderness. The Lord was trying to separate and give us something that we can hold on that's totally far different from our oppressor. You know what I'm saying? That's totally different. And that is no different from what God is trying to do today. You know what I'm saying? And what is this part saying right here? Go ahead.
Basically, the Most High is saying that He wants you to be separate from everything. He wants you to be different from all things, holy from everything, above all things on the earth, whether it's man or beast. You are to have dominion over it all because you are His people.
We are His people, man. Not even a dog gonna move his tongue. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how precious we are to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We are not to join ourselves to anybody else. The Lord considered them as beasts and dogs and serpents on the earth, like spittle, man. You know what I'm saying? We are something far greater than that because He gave us these laws, statutes, and commandments. He did not give it to everybody else. He did not choose anybody else but so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
Go ahead.
It reminds me of that white false preacher.
Kyle, who that?
Right. What
So
was that you talking about?
there's so many.
You white. What he say? He say,
you wash your mouth?
nah, y'all, you better watch your mouth.
Yeah,
You're
God.
white.
You're white.
Yeah, you better watch your mouth. Don't speak against God's chosen people.
God. Yeah.
Blacks are God's chosen people.
God.
You know what I'm saying? He was telling the dogs, you're not supposed to be opening your mouth against God's chosen people.
God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. God. Damn right, man. You know what I'm saying? That was a white pastor, too. You know what I'm saying? Telling his congregation to watch your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, we are God's people. And every other nation should be real peculiar how they deal with us, man. But being that we lost our identity, they can care less. We lost our identity and we're just starving and dying in the ghettos of America. Being robbed, being used and abused, and nobody considers what they do. Nobody consider it like. And nobody considers it a crime. You know what I'm saying? Nobody considers it hate, you know what I'm saying, what they do to us. That's because they see a gain out of it. They think that, it's something that they should be doing. That's because we're willing to sing and dance and praise and be happy and all that stuff. They think it's something that's right. You know what I'm saying? But there's only a few select men that knows what's going on and is upset about it. You know what I'm saying? This the time of dancing and praise worshiping and all that bull crap and singing and all that is over with, man. Now is the time that we come back to our identity and find out who we are and change our life and start serving the Most High. That's the time that we in. And when that time happens, man, when that fully comes to pass, guess what? No nation will be able to ever speak against us. No nation will ever be able to rob us blind, to gentrify our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Put dope in our neighborhoods. Set up Planned Parenthood in our neighborhoods, man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be just as the dogs of this earth, man. They're going to be our pets. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be, that's according to the Bible, man. You know what I'm saying? But we got to first bring back this nation, right? Go ahead.
Kind of a concept. In the middle of verse 7. That ye may know how that the Lord doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
He do what?
Put a difference between the Egyptians.
Now, let me just pause right there, right? Who are the Egyptians?
Slovakia,
Go ahead.
Africa.
They're Africans, right? The country of Egypt is in the continent of Africa. You know what I'm saying? These are African people. Well, guess what? The Lord made a difference from so-called Africans and who else?
And Israel.
And Israel, man. Well, guess what? The Africans, they're known as dark-skinned people, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? The Bible just said just because somebody is dark-skinned doesn't mean you're the same people. The Lord made a difference between the two. And the real Jews are black. You know what I'm saying? The Israelites are black, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And he still made a difference between us and those stinking Africans, man.
Slovakia, so that's right.
Go ahead.
A precept.
God, get down, soldier.
And not just the difference between Africans and Israelites. The Lord made a difference between us and everybody. The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me. Ye shall be separate. For I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people.
Damn right.
That ye should be mine.
Damn right. Damn right. So that's a great precept.
That's on point.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord severed us. What does it mean to sever? That word.
Completely cut off.
Right. You know what I'm saying? He pulled us apart from everybody else, man. You know what I'm saying? That we should serve him and not to serve these other nations. So that's why the Lord made a difference. You know what I'm saying? We're not no African. We're not, a black man. Africa is not your brother, man. An African is not your brother. You know what I'm saying? They denied the Haitians that applied to be a part of the African Union about 5 years ago. They denied it, man. You know what I'm saying? And the reason being that they said they felt like the Haitians was not African enough. You know what I'm saying? That was their only reason why.
So like, how can you be no African? Why? Because they went bathing in cow piss?
Listen. that's probably it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They, right, according to modern day history or to the white man's history, that we're all Africans and they took us from the west coast of Africa. You know what I'm saying? And this is who we identify with. So it should have been no problem for the African Union to want to accept the Haitians, knowing that they was taken from the west coast of Africa. You dig what I'm saying? But yet, they still know that there is a difference between a Haitian and a so-called African. You know what I'm saying? There is a difference between the African American and the so-called indigenous African. You know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are not African. Black man, you are not African, regardless of the skin color. You know what I'm saying? You descend from the 12 tribes of Israel by blood. You know what I'm saying? Skin color does not make you the same people. There's dark-skinned people in East India. There's dark-skinned people in the Middle East. There's dark-skinned people out in Alaska with melanated skin and, tan skin, brown skin. You know what I'm saying? Just because their skin color is brown and melanated doesn't make you the same people, man. That is ridiculous to think that. You know what I'm saying? The Lord divided us as a people, and he only chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's all he chose, right? Let me get... Go ahead. Get down. So,
you want to pull up? You want to give me the definition of ham?
Yeah. I was gonna. Yeah. But go ahead. You had an article.
Yeah, you seen this, didn't you?
Nah. Go ahead. What's that?
Okay. So yeah, this was an article. It goes to show what Africans really think about us. You know what I'm saying? They know that we're not them, and and they're not us. It was a South African designer apologizes for rope ties. Like, you know what I'm saying, them ties they wear at church, this, that, and the other. This African designer made a tie that resembled a noose. That resembled nooses.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So this fashion designer, a fashion designer in South Africa, is apologizing to those offended by his assortment of rope ties that resemble nooses. Was this on purpose? Of course. You know what I'm saying? Because they know we're different. They know what their people did to our people. You know what I'm saying? When they assisted in our captivity, they assisted in us being enslaved and shipped over here to the so-called Americas. Okay. Dude's name was Daniel Gobina. Gobina, I don't know, some
Some
African.
African name.
2026.
God, you know what I'm saying? Like they know what they was. That was probably a celebration of like, look, I sold you niggas. We the ones that sold y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They know exactly who they took from the west coast of Africa. Any old finding of a slave billboard that advertised for slaves, it would never state Africans for sale on that billboard. On those billboards, it will say Negroes for sale.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The main slave port in the west coast of Africa was called the Kingdom of Judah. You can look this up. It's on the map. That's dates probably what the 1700s. It says on that map, Kingdom of Judah. You know what I'm saying? They had Steve Harvey recently visited, crying and all that crap while he was all over there on the shores. You know what I'm saying? Trying to buy his, black fan base, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't willing to do nothing to help. You know what I'm saying? Those ports still stand up. They still stand up on the west coast of Africa, where they was transporting black people here to America, man. You know what I'm saying? And those Africans never went and got us back. They never went to war and fought back for us. You know what I'm saying? I got you real quick. I see Calvin wrote, "You only African when it's time to spend money with them." Damn right, man. That's all. Right. That was, you know what I'm saying? When it's time to run up the credit card scheme or anything in the black market, you know what I'm saying? Or when it's time to set up shop in your neighborhood and sell them fake bags and purses, yeah, they brothers and sisters done. You know what I'm saying? They down with you then. You know what I'm saying? Brother. You know what I'm saying? But none of them is willing to stand up for you when you're being oppressed in America, man. You know what I'm saying? You got these fake conscious cats, you know what I'm saying, in our communities telling us that we African, but in their organization, not one African is following them. Not one African sit in their classes and support them, but yet they're trying to push to black people that they're African. All of their congregation is full of black people. Am I lying? You know what I'm saying? But you don't find not one African supporting their cause because they can care less. They worrying about their Nigerian uncle that's across the waters that they got to send money to while they selling these fake bags. That's what they worrying about, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we are not the same people. Let me get Trooper Kanafras. I got you.
Slucky, sir. If I may, I was just saying, like on the point what you said about the coast of Africa, they got that when they were sending the slaves off, they got that holding spot. It is called the door of no return. Because just like
that's where he went to, Steve Harvey.
Right. Oh, the door of no return. Right. Because like Deuteronomy 28 and 68 say, "You shall see it no more." Like once our ancestors went past that door, they never seen that land again. Some of them didn't make it to the New World, you know. And another thing was like, how come none of them Africans didn't sail a canoe over here to bring us back after we got so-called free by Lincoln? Right. Like if we were their people, they should have had, okay, all right, they free, they can go now. All right, let's go get our people from over there and bring us back. Or have them ship us over there. Because they knew that we not one of them. Like, you know, if my people was somewhere else and they was held in captivity to a point, and then for some reason they was let free, I'm going to get them.
Damn right, man. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's a heavy point, man.
Salaki.
Let me get Officer Rock first. I got you.
Salaki Eagle here, so
go ahead, Officer Kwan.
Just want to say, Salaki, if we was African, when Nelson Mandela was fighting for African rights, why he didn't fight for us? Why he didn't fight for America to let his people go? Right. Because we ain't his people.
You know what I'm saying? Well, both of y'all brothers is heavy, you know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't never came and fought back for us, man. You know what I'm saying? And we supposed to be their people. Go ahead, Officer Rob.
Akon African, right?
Yeah, Akon, right. Yep.
What he do with his bread when he came over here and got that bread out of the rap industry or the music industry?
Sent it back home.
He sent it back home.
Right.
He knew who he was. He knew where his people was. He ain't bring no solar power to Florida.
Right.
Or to Michigan.
Right.
He took it back to his people.
Damn right.
He knew who he was.
Right. And they promoting all our entertainers, all our rich and wealthy of our people to go and help out the people on the continent of Africa while we starve and die in the ghetto, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are not the same, man. They never give a damn about us, so why the hell we got to give a damn about them?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We was whipped, put on ships, humiliated, you know what I'm saying, and cut apart and all type of nonsense we went through. You know what I'm saying? And they never stood up for us.
That's right.
They never fought for us to redeem us back. You know what I'm saying? Because they can give a damn about us. You know what they did do? They did sell you, though. They for sure sold you. You know what I'm saying? Let me get Joel 3 before we get the definition at hand.
No sweat.
Let me get Joel 3. Start me at verse. Verse 1.
Come.
You go ahead, soldier.
Oh, I can have it.
Go ahead. Can't get real quick. You can go ahead and read it.
The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and at that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
Why it says Judah and Jerusalem?
Because he's only talking, Salaki said about
Go
that.
ahead. So
He's only talking about the children of Israel.
that's all he's talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? He gonna bring again the captivity. You know what I'm saying? He gonna bring us out of this captivity that we still under to this day. Because we never got freed from our oppressor. I don't care about the Emancipation Proclamation, whatever they did, whatever bill they signed. It's still in their land. You still don't know your language. You still don't know your culture. You still don't know where you came from. You still don't have your own infrastructure, your own society. You know what I'm saying? We lack these things that's basic amongst every other nation on this earth. But to us, it seems far-fetched, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Lord is going to redeem us, and he's going to provide these things for us that's written of in this Bible. You know what I'm saying? Our culture and our identity is found in these scriptures, right? Read on.
Come, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Into where?
Into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
What that mean?
Into the valley of decision.
And that's what Jehoshaphat means. The valley of decision. The Lord's decision. You know what I'm saying? That valley of Jehoshaphat is talking about in the Middle East right now. That's brewing up right now. You know what I'm saying? Why you think that's going on in Afghanistan? You know what I'm saying? Why you think the Jews is warring with the Palestinians? You know what I'm saying? Why you think all these trade deals is going wrong in the Middle East? Every nation on this earth is preparing themselves for World War III. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is the one that's putting the pieces together. Read on.
Con, sir. And will plead with them there for my people.
For who?
For my people.
That's a possessive noun, man. For my people. Mine. That belongs to him. Read on.
And for my heritage Israel.
For the whole world.
For my heritage Israel.
Man, we are the people that the Lord loves, man. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna plead for us, you know what I'm saying, with these other nations for what they did to us, including the Africans, man. Read on.
And so, like, if I may, real quick, and the pleading that he talking about is not begging for them back.
Right. You know what I'm saying? God, the Lord is ironic with it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm gonna plead with you. You know what I'm saying? He gonna bring it out of you. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna see why did you do what you do. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be through war and bloodshed, man.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Colonel Khan, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Right. This is what they did to us, man. They sold us on those slave ships. The Africans, the Africans, the Jewish men, the Arabs, so-called Europeans. You know what I'm saying? They all had a hand in this, man. This was a world economic effort, man. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't something that was independent or isolated. The transatlantic slave trade was a world effort. And they all benefited off of it, man. This is how they was able to build up their economy and build up their society from free labor, man. From free labor from so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, which are really the children of Israel.
Right.
And you think God forgot about that? You think God is like, that's just the past? You think God seen when that Native Indian child was being slaughtered because he didn't want to bow down to that Christian cross? You didn't think God seen that Black woman that was raped in the master's house because she wasn't picking cotton fast enough? You know what I'm saying? You didn't think God seen all those things, man? God did not forget about those things, man. God for sure seen them. And he going to judge the nations on this earth that's responsible for it, man. And we're still living in the effects of slavery today. Read on.
Sir. Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot.
And have the what?
Have given a boy for an harlot.
Right. They have given a boy for a harlot, man. They sold us just so for pleasure. You know what I'm saying? For a whore. You know what I'm saying? They sold a brother, a black man from the west coast of Africa, you know what I'm saying, just so they can get some type of carnal pleasure from it, some benefit, you know what I'm saying, some trade deal with the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? They cast lots. All right, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, let me gamble on this, you're gonna trade me this, you're gonna give me that. You know what I'm saying? They made sure they got rich and wealthy off of this. Read on.
And sold a girl for wine.
They sold a girl for wine, man. For pleasure, man. For gain on this earth. For resources, for money. Whatever deal that they made, this is who they sold. They sold us for those things, man. Right? What you got? Let me just get them a finish verse 3 real quick.
That they might drink.
Right. This is what they did unto us. Go ahead, Al-Sarah.
On that point right there, you know what I'm saying? There was a document called Triangular Trade. They used to call it Triangular Trade because of the route they took, you know what I'm saying? From Europe down to the west coast of Africa to, you know, the so-called Americas, and then back around, you know what I'm saying? And it says right here in this document, some West Africans, like these men with guns, captured people. Then they traded people as slaves to Europeans for guns, clothes.
Hold on, read that one more. Slow it down for me. So slow it. Tell them where you read it from as well, Baba.
It's called the Europe and the slave trade. It's called Triangular Trade.
So y'all don't think we're just making this up, man? The Bible is prophesying about this because this is your history, black man. You know what I'm saying? This is your history. This only fits only one group of people and nobody else. Go ahead, soldier.
I'm gonna go down to the bottom because that was just a little caption. All right, it says, what things did European traders trade in return for slaves? What traded item had the biggest impact on West Africa and why? All right, so it says European traders traded guns, clothes, rum, salt, and other goods. Guns had the biggest impact on Africa because they gave West Africans villages a way to protect themselves and caused villages to capture and enslave others to trade for guns.
This is what they was doing to the children of Israel. While we were settling on that land, they knew that these people was not of us, right? We was running away from the onslaught of the Roman Empire that they besieged on Israel during 70 AD. So we fled and escaped to the western part of Africa, thinking that we can blend in. And while we were settling on those lands, we had constant conflict with those indigenous people of Africa on that land. You know what I'm saying? And there was a point in time throughout time in history that they decided to gather us all up and sell us to our oppressor, man. They only gathered the children of Israel. They didn't gather the indigenous people on that land. Right? Go ahead, Trooper Kana.
That's what you brought out too, sir. Salaki, if I may.
Now get down.
While we was running from them Romans, fleeing from them heathens, we was also running from them Muslims, them Arabs, the real ones that was catching us too and sending us and selling us back to the Romans, or better words, even killing us or making us their slaves also.
Yeah.
So we had 3 enemies that we were in conflict with: the Romans, the Arabs, and the Africans.
Damn right. Nah, that's exactly true, man. You know what I'm saying? They're all our enemies. We was trying to run and escape from them. You know what I'm saying? And the Arabs was gathering us up, Africans, you know what I'm saying? They was trading, making deals with the Europeans so that they can get rich and wealthy on this earth. You know what I'm saying? They was trading young black boys, young black girls, so they can get rich on this earth. You know what I'm saying? This happened to you and it's written up in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Khan. Verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
And who?
O Tyre and Zidon.
Read on.
And all the coast of Palestine. Will ye render me a recompense?
Right. Why is it mentioning those 3 specific regions in the Bible? What's Tyre and Zidon?
So like I said, because they're the heads of the Edomite race. That's the where they dwelt. That was their land.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Go ahead.
Slack, sir. Tyre was a prominent coast in northern, what I would say, Israel. Was it northern? Like right at the top. It was a rich coast, ship ports where it was a lot of
Export and import.
kind of.
You know what I'm saying?
And they were the two main, like what you would call major cities at the time.
Khan, exactly right. You know what I'm saying? And the people that dwelled there, you know what I'm saying, was the so-called Canaanites.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or the Philistines that we had constant conflict written up in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's mentioned in them because these are Africans, so-called Africans today.
Okay.
Right? But in the Bible, they was known as the Philistines, the Canaanites, or the Zebunites, the Tyre, Zidon, you know what I'm saying? Because this is their true origin. You know what I'm saying? Every identity is found in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And these Africans sold us to our enemies. And Palestine, right? Right? I mentioned Palestine. Them Arabs, like you said, was in it too. You know what I'm saying? They were selling us to our enemies, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is letting you know who had a hand in our destruction. And all these nations had a hand in our destruction. And what you think? They're going to be able to pay that back from God? You know what I'm saying? You think they'll be able to give that back and say sorry to the Most High? They won't even give your black behind reparations. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got these Negroes, leaders, you know what I'm saying, trying to beg the Capitol Hill of America for reparations, and they not even trying to budge at all. They ain't even trying to hear your black behind.
As long as they give them a piece of shit, it's like.
Nah, go ahead, get that.
I was just gonna say, as long as they give them a little piece to shut them up or to keep them on board, you know what I'm saying? They ain't worried about us. Like Captain Shawayala said in class, our leaders are trash, man. They ain't nothing. They shouldn't even be called a leader. Like they get a little money in their pocket to keep them like on the hush and make us like stay blind and stay like in the position that we're in, and that's that. They don't fight for us. They don't do nothing for us.
Do nothing for us, man. You know what I'm saying?
Gates language.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we're destroyed today. Go ahead, Alfred.
You see how Al Sharpton got booed out of Mexico?
Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They booed him straight up out of there. Say, we don't hear nothing you got to say.
The Lord is not with Al Sharpton. You know what I'm saying?
And if I may, just one side note, I have never met a Mexican brother in my life that liked the Edomite, that liked the white person. And I'm from up north, never. I ain't never.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these people had a hand in selling us and destroying us, right? Read on.
Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head?
Right. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got also Lafayette in the building. Little Christ, you know what I'm saying?
Full house in this piece.
Full house in this joint, you know what I'm saying? Got the Killers with me, the Killers of Orlando.
Sit down, they finna kick us out.
Already, yeah. Both sides, good to see you, soldier, for real. All right. So let's continue on.
Verse 5. Because ye have taken, Joel chapter 3, verse 5. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold.
Right, we're precious unto the Most High, right? Read on. Right, jewels, man. Go ahead.
And have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold.
Sold. Let's slow this down on score. So let's let the people know, you know what I'm saying, that this is prophetic that we're reading about right now. This is written how many thousands of years ago? We did not write this book, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's written in this book for a purpose. It's trying to show you who you are. You know what I'm saying? Why your pastor never read you Joel 3? Why he reads the Bible. He claimed to be a man of God. You know what I'm saying? But the Bible's about to get you some hard facts. I want you to read that slow for me, off the
Con out of one con.
Go ahead.
Joel chapter 3, verse 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem. Have ye sold
the Africans, the Arabs, have ye sold, read on,
unto the Grecians.
Unto who?
Unto the Grecians.
Who is the Grecians?
So-called white man.
Yes, listen, if the Bible ain't real, I don't know what is. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is written in the Bible. This is your history, black man. You know what I'm saying? We were sold onto the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord has not forgotten about that. The Lord seen what happened and who got rich off of us, man. This is how insurance companies was founded. They used to insure the slaves that didn't make it getting sailed across the Atlantic Ocean. You know what I'm saying? This is how they was able to build empires and buildings and skyscrapers and all these things, man. This is how they got rich and wealthy, by making you a slave, man. And God did not forget about that, man. And people act like it's so long ago. You know, America is only, what, 200 years old as a country? When it became an independent country, 200, 300 years old? This is not that long ago, man.
Man, it's lucky, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel say like
Go
that.
ahead.
We've been slaves longer than this been the country.
Right, God. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? God. Like, they made sure they made you a slave before they even found their own independence. Before they even wanted independence, you was a slave, man. You know what I'm saying? And God never forgot about that, man. Even after they so-called freed you, man, they still put wicked laws to make sure that you was a slave, inferior to them, man. Jim Crow laws, you know what I'm saying? Was it the no driving in a town law or something like that? Well, there was certain areas that black people couldn't even drive to at a certain time. The sundown laws, you know what I'm saying? This is what they was doing. They was lynching and hanging black people from light poles, had little babies hanging. You know what I'm saying? This is what they did unto us, man. And it's written of in the Bible. Go ahead, soldier.
Just real quick, the United States of America was founded in 1776, making the country 243 years old
Good
as of
night.
2019. So add 2 more on there. 245 years old.
You know what I'm saying?
Slaves 400 years.
God.
More.
200 years before they even started fighting with each other.
Man.
Before they declared their independence.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what's written of in the Bible. That's how you should know that is not your brother, man. A friend will not sell a friend to slavery. A brother will not do that, man. These people is not of your nation and not of your race. You know what I'm saying? The Lord made a difference between the two, regardless of skin tone, right? Give me Ham real quick. Baba Kashar.
Come on, Khan. This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. And it speaks of Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
Right? This is Ham, right? Ham was one of the sons of Noah, you know what I'm saying, that came on the opposite end of the flood. He survived the flood, right? Read on.
And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He became the progenitor.
Progenitor. What does the word progenitor means? It means the father of, right? He became the father of, read on.
Of the dark races.
Of the dark races. Now, like I mentioned before, there are many dark races on this earth, right? Not every dark race on this earth identify as an African. Call an East Indian an African. He will look at you like you crazy, even though his skin is dark. You get what I'm saying? So he became the father of the dark races, but a specific dark race. Read on.
Not the Negroes.
Not the what?
Negroes.
Not the who?
Negroes.
Negroes. You know what I'm saying? And there is only but one people on this earth that is identified as a Negro. Right. And that is you, black man. Ain't no African walking around in Africa like, yo, what up, man, nigga? They ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? But you doing that. You know what I'm saying? And even our oppressor knew who you was and who they was taken from on the west coast of Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, this was a world economic effort, man. You know what I'm saying? They was not just doing this off of the limb. They kept meticulous records, man. They wrote down every slave ship that they used, every cargo that they had on board, how many slaves, all the names of the slaves. They knew exactly what they was doing strategically, man. You know what I'm saying? And they knew who they was taking. And they knew that these people were not of the people of Africa. These people are not the people of Ham. They did not descend from Ham. We descend from Shem. You know what I'm saying? Israel is a descendant of Shem. You know what I'm saying? Israel descends from Isaac. Isaac descend from Abraham. Abraham descend from Shem. You know what I'm saying? That's the line that we come from. You know what I'm saying? But Ham, he has his descendants. And we about to read whose his descendants are. Read on.
But the Egyptians,
But who?
the Egyptians,
Egypt is found where? Go ahead.
Africa.
In Africa, right? That's the one African nation. Read on.
Ethiopians,
Where is Ethiopia found? Africa. It's another African nation, right? Read on.
Libyans,
Where is Libya found?
Africa.
North Africa. Read on.
and Canaanites.
Canaanites is the southern Africans. You know what I'm saying? Like he became the father of the African nations, but not the Negroes. You know what I'm saying? Even though we have dark skin. Read on.
His indecency.
So like you was about to say something, but I didn't think to say it.
Yeah, fun fact to support this point that you're bringing out. You know what I'm saying? Because they, we lost, brainwashed so bad in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Even a misconception of, Africa. They call us African American and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? And it's 54 countries in Africa. 54 countries in Africa. Africa is a continent. Okay? And support the point that you're bringing out. It says the total area of the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii, is 9.6 million square kilometers, or 3.8 million square miles. Africa is more than 3 times the size of the United States.
And you think all of them identify with the whole landmass? You just said 3 times.
3 times.
Come on.
Go
ahead.
You see how they mislead us even with the map.
Right.
Because in school, the map, they look like they about equal, right?
Mm-hmm.
They look like they about the same size. Africa is 3 times the size of the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii.
Man. That's on the map, America's, same mass as Africa on the map. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got the white man making these maps. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? But the point that the brother is making is true. It's heavy. You know what I'm saying? That everybody on that continent do not even identify with the whole continent. You got Nigerians on the West Coast. They only identify with their country. A Nigerian is going to call themselves a Nigerian. An Ethiopian on the other side of Africa going to call himself an Ethiopian. Somalian going to call himself Somalian. Libyan going to call himself Libyan. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to call themselves the whole continent because nobody on that continent is the whole continent. You know what I'm saying? They're all independent countries, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but us as black people, we want to identify with the whole damn continent, man, which is impossible to do. It is impossible to even accomplish. Right. How the hell we going to do it? You know what I'm saying? When the people on the continent don't even do that. Right. You know what I'm saying? But we the ones
say we all
right? We everything. You know what I'm saying? Like that is ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a fantasy that they pushed on us. Africans are not your brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? If you a black man with melanated skin, you know what I'm saying, Hispanic man or so-called, you know what I'm saying, indigenous of America, you know what I'm saying, these Africans are not your brothers. Right? But let's find out who our neighbors are. You know what I'm saying? Who our brothers are that Christ spoke of in the Bible. Drop that. Let me get Babade. What was that? Jeremiah 50 and 30. Sure. Yeah, anything you want to add to Lafayette? You know what I'm saying? You can get down. That boy on there.
I ain't running no more. He can get all of them. I just got my one. That's all I needed. One. That's all I needed.
Yeah, both side Christ.
You said Jeremiah
15:30.
What, 15:30? Where's the one that says that they was oppressed together?
53. Nah, 33.
Oh,
yeah.
33. Okay. All right. Yeah. Time's sake. Yeah, you can read start from 30. Start from 30.
Con. Oh, I can have it.
Sloppy, you said 15?
50.
50.
Okay.
30.
Con.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 30. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets,
Mm-hmm.
and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord.
Right. This is talking about the Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? And this happened to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians when they sold us here in America. You know what I'm saying? The black people was not even the first ones to be on those slave ships. You know who were the first people that was on those slave ships? You know what I'm saying? Was the so-called Hispanics or the so-called indigenous people of America, or like they like to call the Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? They the ones, the Spaniards is the ones that was the first ones to transport slaves across the Atlantic Ocean back to Spain, man. You know what I'm saying? We are the only ones that's been on slave ships and fell as a nation, right? Read on.
Con. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord God of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee.
Right. You know what I'm saying? We fell away from the laws and we became destroyed. We lost our identity. Read on.
32. And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about.
Right, man.
him.
This is what happened to us as a people, man. This only can be put specifically for one group. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can fit that category. You know what I'm saying? You got many nations on this earth that's prospering right now. This don't even fit the so-called Jewish man neither. The Jewish man, he runs Hollywood. He runs the Diamond District. You know what I'm saying? He's getting funded by America every year by the billions. He has his own government, his own country. You know what I'm saying? But yet, we as a people are destroyed in America with no identity. You know what I'm saying? With no backing and no infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Because we disobeyed the Most High. We became proud in what we did, and the Lord destroyed us. My bad. Go ahead.
Verse 33. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah.
Why it says the children of Israel and Judah?
So like I said,
Go ahead.
Northern and Southern Kingdom, they were divided at the time.
Right. We was divided as a nation. You know what I'm saying? The Southern Kingdom was known as the House of Judah, and the Northern Kingdom was known as the House of Israel or the House of Ephraim. You know what I'm saying? We became divided as a people. You know what I'm saying? And that's who the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians come from. You know what I'm saying? The Southern Kingdom was the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And then you had the rest of the tribes, 9.5 tribes, was all the Northern Kingdom, the so-called Hispanics, right? You had Issachar, Zebulon, Ephraim. You know what I'm saying? Those tribes make up the so-called Hispanics and indigenous people of today. You know what I'm saying? And the Judah and Benjamin of the Southern Kingdom, or the House of Judah, you know what I'm saying? They make up the so-called African Americans or the Haitians, Jamaicans of the West Indian Islands. You know what I'm saying? This is who we are. You know what I'm saying? Until this day, we are still divided. But there is but one thing that can unify us as a people. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing that unifies us if we can understand and grasp this thing. This is what's going to make us brothers, man. And we see an example of that in Acuna. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Con. The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
Was what?
Oppressed together.
This is what's going to unify Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. This is how you know who your brother is. The ones that's been oppressed with you, man. The one that was on those slave ships with you. The one that was conquered with you, man. You got hella immigrants coming to America that's being flown in on a U.S. cargo planes by the thousands, you know what I'm saying, and given citizenship or being able to function as a people here in America. But yet you got Haitians trying to come up, you know what I'm saying, because their country and their land been destroyed as a people, but yet they don't receive the same favor like the damn Afghanistans did, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't receive that opportunity to where they can pursue a better life, get the full pursuit of happiness,
Right.
to get citizenship like every other nation did on this earth, man. You know what I'm saying? And that happened to the Haitians, and there was only but one people that also happened to, man. Who was that? Help me out, yo. But
You say being taken up or
or not being able to get citizenship in America, or being deported here in America.
Oh,
Not only the Haitians that happened to the Haitians, but who else that happened to?
my Isupk.
By Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? These are the only two so-called ethnic groups that was denied access to America. That was denied the pursuit of happiness. While every other country don't even have no damn green card, but they running and functioning as a nation, man. You know what I'm saying? You got Chinatown, you know what I'm saying, cooking up all the rat and the cat and the dog that you could find on this earth. You know what I'm saying? They got neighborhoods where they're functioning amongst themselves. You know what I'm saying? Can't even find. Right. They skinning them and cooking them, man. That's exactly what they doing, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is happening unto us because we are brothers, man. What happened in the Cuna, Mexico was clear proof that Mexicans and Haitians are brothers, man. Because we've been oppressed together. You know what I'm saying? The Africans was not swimming over here to get to America. They flying over here to get to America. You know what I'm saying? The Africans was the ones that was put on those slave ships. The Chinese was the ones that was put on those slave ships. Japanese or anybody else, man. You know what I'm saying? You was the only one that was brought here on slave ships. You're the only one that's fighting for your freedom and the opportunity to be treated equally on this earth. You're the only one that had to march and beg for civil rights. Where's the Chinese civil rights movement at? Where's the Arab civil rights movement at? But black people, we the one that got to beg for civil rights. You know why they don't have to beg for civil rights? Because they have their own country. They have their own nation that they can depend on. But because we lost our identity, we want to depend on our oppressor, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, we should depend on each other and build our own government and our own society, man. And you got to realize who your brothers are in order to do so. Go ahead, Soldier.
Khan. Just in support of the point, of course. You know what I'm saying? It's hidden in plain sight. You know what I'm saying? Christian pastors lying to you, and you need brothers. You need the Isupk to show you the truth that's hidden in plain sight. Of course, France benefited heavily off of Haiti. You know what I'm saying? The revolution. What year was the revolution?
Around the 1800s.
Right. They won their independence. So the thing was, France basically said that because of the revolution and them declaring their freedom, that the slave owners that owned the slaves in Haiti lost property and money because of them declaring their freedom. This is the devil. I mean, if that ain't the devil, who is? You want to be free, and because you want to be free, I done lost property and money from you. So it says the Haiti indemnity controversy involves an 1825 agreement between Haiti and France that included France demanding 150 million franc indemnity to be paid by Haiti in claims over poverty or property, including Haitian slaves that was lost through the Haitian Revolution in return for diplomatic recognition. Now you see that France and America has an allegiance. You know what I'm saying? They had an allegiance.
You trying to buck up against them now, huh?
Yeah. But they had an allegiance. They was in agreement with each other. They didn't drain Haiti of everything they possibly could. What is it? What they say? The payment was later reduced to 90 million francs in 1838, comparable to US 21 billion as of 2004. You didn't drain our brothers. I mean, just enslaved and drained our brothers as far as you possibly could. And then they try to get over here because of what you've done. You're responsible for it.
Right.
And they trying to escape the poverty that you inflicted.
Right.
They done paid you out of their pockets, out of their children's pockets for generations after generations after generations. No wonder Haiti is suffering financially. And then they try to escape that, coming to the United States, which the United States or the American president has an agreement with France, and they get turned around. If that ain't the devil, then what is?
If I could, 1 second, you know what I'm saying? If I could, they inflicted that warfare that's going in Afghanistan, and yet they still bring them back over here, right? They're trying to make right by what they did to them Afghanistans and bring them back over here. And
So
what you
that?
right, you know what I'm saying? What you just read is they inflicted that on the Haitians, you know what I'm saying? But they don't even want to give them nothing back in return on the pain and suffering that they inflicted on them, man. That's ridiculous.
Put them on a bus and send them back to Haiti.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Triple Canal.
I was gonna say I watched a documentary on Haiti, and they said I forgot his name.
President Woodrow Wilson.
This was like in the 1800s, maybe. He paid it. He paid because I think his father was half French. His father was French or his mother was French, and he wanted to associate with that side of his family. And he was the leader of Haiti. And he paid that. He paid that debt that they was asking, and that put Haiti in poverty. Like they put them way behind the other nation. And also President, I think it was Roosevelt, that they were sending U.S. troops down there to afflict the Haitians.
Woodrow Wilson.
That's who it was. Yeah. Well, Salaki, I thought it was Roosevelt. I know it was one of them that also had America had their hand in it too. It wasn't just the French. It was America too.
Of course.
I'm just thinking.
Of course.
They got to be in some of everything.
Damn, man. So, that's exactly it, man. Calvin said Philly was built on Haitian money. Damn right. The whole America was built on slave money, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The France was built on slave money. Spain was built on slave money. They all got blood on their hands, man. You know what I'm saying? And God has not forgotten about that. And this is the people that you want to call yourself your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? As a nation, these are the people that we want to call our brothers and our sisters. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that robbed us and enslaved us. A white man would never be your brother, black man. He will never be your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? The Africans will never be your neighbor. The Arab, whoever, these other nations will never be your people. But the only people that you should identify yourself with is the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The people that was oppressed with you, man.
Most correct.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody else, man, was oppressed with you but Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little more on that.
A little more? All right, get down.
Okay. And all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go.
They refused, man. Like, this is what you just read about 1800s. He said the 1700s. Like we just said, America is a young country. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been inflicting us before they became independent. And they still refuse to let you go, man. You're still here in their land with no identity, man. You're still being abused and being oppressed daily. Being fed lies and Christianity, man. This is what's happening to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is only about us. So your brothers is the people that's been oppressed with you. The people that knows that who their enemy is, man. And that's what's going to unify us. One common enemy will unify Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? Because a black man is not the Puerto Rican man's problem. You know what I'm saying? The Jamaican man is not the Mexican man's problem. The problem that we have amongst us in our communities is coming from one source, man. It's not coming from each other. It's coming from our so-called oppressors, man. It's coming from the other nations. This is why we're destroyed in our communities. You know what I'm saying? This is why we're living in poverty in our ghettos and on our islands, in our barrios, in our reservations. Because our oppressors in these other nations put us in those positions, man. But yet we want to blame each other. We want to shoot each other down for the crumbs that's on this earth. Well, how about we unify, man, and separate ourselves from everybody else, man? And we'll be able to build something that's far greater than has ever been seen on this earth. The little that the white man have was only built off of murder and bloodshed. Imagine if we turn to the Most High, what we can create. You know what I'm saying? And this is who your brother is, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. The ones that's suffering in captivity with you in America today, all right?
So,
Go ahead, soldier.
just on the end part of that scripture,
Mhm.
I mean, not only does it say that they refuse to let them go, we just need to hammer the point even more.
Mhm.
It say that their captives held them fast,
Mhm.
which is a old English term for tight.
Mhm.
So it ain't just about not letting us go, especially like Egyptology, you know what I'm saying? They try to incorporate any type of African or any type of other nation's poverty or anything they may go through, but this is saying that it held them tight.
Mm.
And the grip that our oppressors have on us is a tight grip.
Mm.
It ain't like we could just get out of it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's specific to how to get out of that. And the Isupk is the only way that can show us
Damn
to
right.
unlock that key.
Damn right. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way we're gonna get it done, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll like we stated in the beginning of the class, ISUPK is built on brotherhood, man. You know what I'm saying? And like the priest said, there is no other way that we're gonna get free. They give us no wiggle room, man. You know what I'm saying? You think marching and voting was the way? Nah. You think begging your oppressor is the way? Nah. You think going to church and praying to white Jesus all day is the way? Nah. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get no way out but joining your brothers and sisters, man. That's the only way out. Go ahead.
So like I said, like I was saying, it was in 1825,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to pay 100 million francs.
Yeah, 150.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is 21 billion today.
21 billion. You know what a nigga can do with? That's like what a Negro, a black man can do with 21 billion.
You know what the Levite could have did with it?
Thank you.
They could have lived.
Thank
They
you.
could have not been
Exactly.
mud-pied.
Damn right.
They could have not been in poverty, not fighting the Dominican or the Simeonite brothers that's right next door, because they both suffering in poverty because of all of their resources have been given to another country.
Con. That's exactly what they could have been doing with it right now. But yet they swimming across a swampy river somewhere in Mexico just so they can get some type of resources and relief on this earth, man. Risking their children's lives, their women's lives, just to get a little bit of ease from the oppression that you place on them, white man. Well, you think God forgot about that? God ain't forget, man. You know what I'm saying? God is watching what's happening to the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And if you want justice, black man, if you want freedom, if you want to be delivered from the hell that you're going through, you have to join your nation and serve the Most High. It's the only way it's going to get done, man. This is hell that we living under, man. You know what I'm saying? And nobody else is experiencing this. I don't care who you point out, what nation you point out on this earth. Nobody's experiencing what the Haitians is going through on this earth. Nobody's experiencing what an African American is going through on this earth. Nobody experienced what a Mexican, Puerto Rican, Brazilian, you know what I'm saying, Ecuadorian, or what a Central to South America. Nobody else on this earth has experienced what they have experienced under the hands of oppression, under the hands of our white, of the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? We the only ones that's living out these conditions. So by instinct, we should already know who my brothers is. I should know off rip. You know what I'm saying? The same Negro that's being oppressed just like me. He might speak a different language. You know what I'm saying? He might listen to the Congos a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? But listen, we still vibe and listen to that too. You know what I'm saying? He might, right, you know what I'm saying? He might like the different spices on this, you know, certain way, you know what I'm saying? But it's still nigga food.
It's a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
They put seasoning on the food.
Right. You know what I'm
you
saying?
You should know who your brother is because it's seasoning on the food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? They trying to divide you with these language barriers, man. Man, get past that language barrier. If you a black man that don't know Spanish, learn Spanish, man. You know what I'm saying? You a Haitian, learn Spanish. Learn to speak that English, man, so you can communicate with your brothers. You know what I'm saying? If you are a so-called Hispanic, learn that English, man. Learn that Creole. Learn that patois. You know what I'm saying? So you can speak to your brothers and sisters, man, because we are still one nation, regardless of the languages that our oppressors oppose on us. Go ahead. You were gonna say something?
Lie. You
Okay.
be reading my mind like
Nah, that's what- go ahead, so-
No, what you bring out is heavy. Again, I hate to do it again, but even with when I was talking about, was bringing out about the fast part, that's still because we run into the oppressor, and the oppressor is so devious to the point where he will oppress you, hold you with that tight grip, and then tell you it's easy to get out of it. He'll hit you with that tight grip and say, well, look what everybody else able to do.
Pick yourself up.
But don't want to pick
Right.
yourself up. You do it
By the bootstraps.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But not acknowledging the fast grip he got on us, that tight grip he got on us. So how much of a devil can you be to tell somebody that they can get out of it when you know they can't get out of it?
Good night.
You know you ain't letting it. You know you didn't shut all the doors.
Right.
You gonna tell somebody you can get out this room, but you didn't locked it? Come on, man. Like that's the devil. If we ain't never seen it.
God,
Yeah,
that's why we mentally destroyed, man. Go ahead, officer.
Not only that he's locked the door, but you got a 500-year head start, and you expect us to catch up. You
Damn
expect
right.
us to catch up, but when we start running, you chase us down and murder us in the street.
God, man. They had a clear head start before us, a clear advantage, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'll never give an oppressor $1 that I see begging on the side of the road. Hey, you from right?
Boy,
That is on you.
Two-time loser.
Right, you a two-time loser, nigga. You in rulership.
In the white man world, you can't get a job.
Man, it's a shame. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Sure
You know what I'm saying?
The other Edomites are ashamed of them too.
God.
You see them how they look at them?
You might as well just jump off a bridge. That's the best thing you could do for yourself, man. You know what I'm saying?
Millstone around your neck.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
sir.
And this is what picking up yourself by the bootstraps look like. It's the men in the ISUPK. Yeah, they tell us that all day. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. We sure did. You know what I'm saying? We not sitting back and waiting on our blessing.
Boot up,
You know what I'm saying? We booting up or shut up, man. You know what I'm saying? Under Commander Jenny Yohana, man. You know what I'm saying? We are fully prepared and willing to bring about the Lord's nation, man. You know what I'm saying? So the hell with the white man got to say.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? We gonna build this nation regardless whatever they try to stop us. And it's only in the ISUPK. I don't know what your pastor trying to do. I don't think he's building up a nation. You know what I'm saying? The men in the ISUPK is building up this nation. You had our son, Officer Ra?
Con in support of what was just being said, that tight grip, holding fast, you know what I'm saying? Now this from September to 23rd, 2020. It's this article. Let's see, what's the source? Okay, it's an article about on racism, the NRP.org. Cost of racism. U.S. economy lost $16 trillion because of discrimination, bank says. You go down in the article, it says, since 2000, U.S. gross domestic product lost that much as a result of discriminatory practices in a range of areas, including education and access to business loans, according to a new study by Citigroup. It's not an insufficient number. By comparison, U.S. GDP totaled $19.5 trillion last year. This oppressor, this goes to show you, this oppressor is willing to lose $16 trillion just to make for sure that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do not have an advantage in this country. It's hidden in plain sight. Just like I said again, what the brother is bringing out is so true. Hold fast. Tell you, you know, look what everybody else doing. You just spent $16 trillion to make for sure I can't do what everybody else doing.
Right.
You just you let that go just to make for sure that we was in an oppressed position.
Right.
It's right there in our face. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right, man. And they love to blame you for it. You know what I'm saying? But this is what's going to unify us as a nation. Your brothers is the ones that's oppressed with you, right? Let me get Genesis 49. Start me out in verse 5. Or verse 1.
Gun on gun.
Stop, yeah.
They have hitters.
Verse 5.
I love it. Now stop me at verse 1, Bubba. Sure.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob called unto his sons
Mm-hmm.
and said, gather yourselves together,
Mm-hmm.
that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last day.
Right. Jacob, this is talking about Israel. Jacob, whose name was changed later on in the Bible to Israel, is gathering up all his 12 sons who became the nation of Israel to let them know what's going to happen to them in the last days. And guess what? We are in the last days today. This is the last days. You got all these conspiracy theories nuts talking about the world is going to end, the sky is falling, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody can sense it that we are living in the last days. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Bible's going to give you a prophecy, letting you know where these 12 people, you know what I'm saying, these 12 tribes are going to be at during these last days. Jump me down to verse 5.
Kind of one concept. Verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren.
Are who?
Are brethren.
They're brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? A Simeonite is a so-called Dominican. You know what I'm saying? Levi is a so-called Haitian. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible is calling them your brother, your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? That's a prophecy letting you know who they are today. Because both of these people live on the same island. A Dominican is right next door to a Haitian. You know what I'm saying? They both was oppressed together. The Dominicans was oppressed by the Spaniards, and the Haitians was oppressed by the French. You know what I'm saying? But yet they're still brothers, even though they speak two different languages. You know what I'm saying? They're living on the same island. How could you not be brothers? You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
But yet we're fighting each other, man. You know what I'm saying? In our own, on this island, you know what I'm saying? We fighting each other and hating each other and using instruments, you know what I'm saying, like voodoo and like the gun and the sword, you know what I'm saying, to show cruelty to each other, man. You know what I'm saying? When the Bible calls you brothers, right? Read on.
O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly. Mine honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall.
Right, that's talking about when their sister was raped, you know what I'm saying, by that damn hammer. You remember that story, you know what I'm saying? Right, God, those brothers went out and slaughtered the whole tribe. Right, the whole tribe, man.
That's jammed up too.
It did, you know what I'm saying? They did what, you know, they wasn't supposed to do it. They wasn't given the order from Jacob, you know what I'm saying? But they did that, you know what I'm saying? And the Lord seen that. And the Lord understood, man, these two together can bring some real damage on this earth, man. You know what I'm saying? But yet we're on the same island, but we're separate. We're living a lifestyle that's separate from each other. You know what I'm saying? We have an ongoing conflict that's happening on that island till this day. You got the Dominicans trying to deport the Haitians, you know what I'm saying, and beating them and locking them up. You got the Haitians talking down on people that speak Spanish and calling them Ponyol and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? When these are your brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the people of your nation. This is who you should identify who your brother is. You know what I'm saying? Not with no some damn African. The hell trying to make a union with an African. Make a union with the same people that's on the island with you, man. A Haitian and a Dominican union. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's happening in the Isupk. Read on.
Turn that one concept. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them into Jacob. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel.
Right. That's why we're divided on that island of Hispaniola. Hispaniola. God, that's why we're divided, man. You have the Haitians on one side and the Dominicans on another side. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brother shall praise.
Right. Who is Judah? You know what I'm saying? The Judah is the so-called African-American man. You know what I'm saying? The Negro. That's who Judah is. You know what I'm saying? It's saying from thee thou shalt brothers praise. You know what I'm saying? Why is it saying that about Judah?
Because Yahweh Shah.
Right. That's the tribe that our king descend from. You know what I'm saying? Christ was from the tribe of Judah. You know what I'm saying? But they'll depict Christ as a so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? Well, Christ was a black man according to the Bible.
That's
And
right.
being a Jew, if he was black, well, guess what? All the Jews are black. Let me get Jared, hold this real quick. Somebody grab me Jeremiah 14:2. Bible Kashah. We're going to jump back to 49.
Come. The book of Jeremiah.
Let him get down, man.
Hold one and grab another. Now I better tighten up on your sword, nigga.
Somebody else read it.
God, nah, go ahead, get down, man. Get
The book
down.
of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourning.
Judah mourning. You know what I'm saying? The real Jews of this Bible, that's the word, where the word Jew comes from. It's the abbreviation of the word Judah. You know what I'm saying? The same way if you have somebody named Matthew, you'll call him Matt. You know what I'm saying? If you got somebody named Daniel, you call him Dan or whatever. Right, you get what I'm saying. Peter, Pete, right. You know what I'm saying? Jew. It's no difference. You know what I'm saying? What the Bible is saying, the real Jews are mourning. Now ask yourself, is the so-called Jew, the man that claimed to be a Jew, the Jewish man out in Israel with the pepperoni hat, is he in a state of mourning right now? Is he in a state of suffering right now? Was he put on those slave ships? Was his back whooped and forced to pick cotton? Nah, man, he ain't the real Jew. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Because the real Jews are suffering in the ghettos, in the barrios, and the reservations of America. Read on.
And the gates thereof languish.
Our gates, man, meaning our protection. That's what the gates represent, right? And these leaders are supposed to be our protection. They're supposed to watch over us and make sure that nothing evil comes in into this nation. You know what I'm saying? But yet, our gates languish. They're weak. They refuse to do what the Lord told them to do. They refuse to protect us from our oppressors in these other nations, man. And that's only happening to the so-called black man. Read on.
They are black.
Hold on now. You making this up? Come on. This.
They are black.
One more again.
They are black.
The Bible says the real Jews. All right. The Bible says that the real Jews are not only are they suffering, not only do their leaders are weak, but yet they are also black, man. You know what I'm saying? The real Jews are black. That's who the tribe of Judah is. It's talking about the so-called African Americans here in America. It's not talking about your Africans. It's not talking about converts. It's not talking about those who religiously believe and all that stuff. It's talking about bloodline. This is who you descend from, black man. Read on.
Unto the ground.
Unto the ground. What does that mean? Why does it say unto the ground?
Like the different layers of the earth is different shades of black or brown.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Get a brother a hand. You know what I'm saying? If you dig in the earth, you know what I'm saying, you'll find different shades of brown. You know what I'm saying? Some lighter, some darker, you know what I'm saying? But still and yet, they are black, man. You know what I'm saying? And the so-called Jewish man, he is not black. You know what I'm saying? He's not black unto the ground. He don't come in different shades of brown. You know what I'm saying? His skin is pale and red. His blood show forth through his skin. You know what I'm saying? Because they are not the real Jews. You are the real Jews, right? Jump me back to Genesis 49, Bible Kashah.
Okay, sir.
Go ahead.
That in the middle of verse 8, thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
Right. Their hands is in the neck of their enemies because they the ones that's fighting and pushing for some type of rights here in America, man. You know what I'm saying? Their hands are in the neck of their enemies. You know what I'm saying? Judah will stand up for something when they pushed hard enough. You know what I'm saying? They can get an advantage because they're right here in the land of their enemy, man. You know what I'm saying? But they refuse to stand up because you have weak leaders, right? Read on.
Khan. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
You know what I'm saying? This is the tribe, the head tribe that we look to because this is the tribe that our king comes from. You know what I'm saying? The Bible is prophesying who the Israelites are. And it's letting us know that we got to come back together, right? Read on.
Khan. Verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He crouched as a lion. and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Man, that's a good question, man. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna rouse up the so-called African American
Salaki, sir.
so he can know who his brother is? Go ahead.
Man and General Yohana, goddamn it.
Get it damn right. You know what I'm saying? We the only ones that gives a damn about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. While everybody's trying to love these other nations and trying to make sure that they are right, everybody forgot about the ones that's suffering and that's not all right in the ghettos. Man. You know what I'm saying? Drop me down to verse 22.
Verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall.
Tell me now. Joseph is talking about the tribe of Ephraim. You know what I'm saying? Which is your so-called Puerto Ricans. It's saying that he is a fruitful bow. Now, you cannot tell me that this ain't talking about the Puerto Ricans, man, or the so-called Hispanics, man. They have children by the hundreds, man. They are one of the most fruitful people I know on this earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Then you go to their cribs, their cribs be so packed, full of family members, full of relatives. You know what I'm saying? They stick together tight. You know what I'm saying? Making sure they take care of La Familia, all of that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? This is talking about us. This is who your brothers is. They are a fruitful bow because it's in their spirit to be that way. The Lord gave them that spirit. You know what I'm saying? The Lord gave them that ability as well. Right? You was going to say something?
No, sir.
All right, read on.
Come. Verse 23. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him.
Right. You can drop that. Let me get Ezekiel 37. We're going to end it with this. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, we in the library, man. We in Hart Memorial Library in Kissimmee, Florida. Hart Memorial Library in Kissimmee, Florida, man. We're going to be out here every Tuesday. So make sure if you want to get a direct, indirect class, you know what I'm saying, where you sitting in front of the priests and prophets of the Most High, come into Hart Memorial Library, man. You know what I'm saying? We setting it up in Orlando. Lord allow, we can get a building where we can rock it out as long as we want to. You know what I'm saying? But we got the time restriction being that we under, you know, the white man time frame. So we just gonna knock it out quickly. You know what I'm saying? But make sure if you want to come into Hart Memorial Library, all right? You want to say something?
You said
37, Ezekiel 37, and starting at verse 16.
Come on. Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 16.
You got it, come on. You got it.
Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 16. More pages will step together. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah.
Right. So he's saying this is a prophecy that the Lord is giving Ezekiel. He said, take one stick and write upon it for Judah. Right? Read on.
Come. And for the children of Israel, his companions.
Right. So his companions would be the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Levi, and the tribe of Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? That's the so-called black man, West Indies, and Haitians. You know what I'm saying? All in one stick, right? Read on.
Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions.
Now you have another stick, right? And then on this stick is going to be listing the other tribes. You know what I'm saying? You have Ephraim, Zebulon, Issachar, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, all the other tribes that's written on that sign right there. You know what I'm saying? That's who his companions would be. You know what I'm saying? And like we stated before, we became separated. That's why it's on two separate sticks. As a nation, we became separated. We had the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord is prophesying where he's going to do something with these two sticks. Right? Read on.
17. And join them one to another into one stick,
And do what?
and join them one to another into one stick.
So when Christ came, what he came to do? Oh, we'll read that.
Mm-hmm. And join them one to another into one stick.
Right. This is what the Bible is about, man. He gonna take these two sticks and put them together. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna make us a nation again. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's gonna do for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So the next time you call somebody your neighbor, when you read it in the New Testament, when it says love thy brother as thyself, love thy neighbor as thyself, know that it's only talking about a so-called black, Hispanic, or indigenous man of America, man. And nobody else. All right. So with that, we're gonna end the class. The water y'all coming in, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, damn right. Give it up. You know what I'm saying? Lower the hand. I got the killers with me. See if I can get y'all camera. Ra'ai. I got Kanak, you know what I'm saying? Lafayette, you know what I'm saying? Kawan, you know what I'm saying? All my brothers in the building, man. So y'all get down with us. Hart Memorial Library. Make sure y'all come through, you know what I'm saying, and learn this truth, all right? Shalom.